Welcome to GlobeTrotter. I'm Jon Haggins. We're here in Malaysia. I love saying Malaysia. We are visiting 3 destinations in Malaysia. We're visiting Kuala Lumpur, Sarawak, and Langkawi. Oh, I am so excited to share this with you. The Sarawak Museum is often touted as one of the finest museums in Southeast Asia. I'm standing here in Kuching, very hot day. I call it the linen weather, and I'm standing in front of the Chinese temple. Kuching is the capital city of Sarawak, and it's known as the Cat City. This is the oldest Chinese temple in Kuching, and their various sources give different dates on when it was built. However, all agree it was built before the 19th century. Kuching is in eastern Malaysia on the island of Borneo. It's known for the Iban tribes and several other tribes, and it's a river city. Kuching is the most populous city in the state of Sarawak, and it's the 4th largest city in Malaysia, nested in the banks of the Sarawak River. Kuching is the capital of the East Malaysia state of Sarawak. There's nothing more refreshing than this wonderful river that divides the city. It's where people can cross on the boats. And you know what I love about the people here? They're very friendly. And that makes a very special place for someone to come and visit. The Kuching waterfront has views across the Astana, the Palace, and Fort Margarita. The city is cut almost in half by the meandering Sarawak River. You know, Kuching is very special, not only with the river, but we have a river walk. So you have great scenery, you're looking across the river, you hear the boats, you see the people. What could be better than that? The Tung Juga Foundation was named after its Iban chief, founding father. The foundation is a museum and gallery that preserves and promotes the traditional weaving of the Iban Textiles for the benefit of the community and the general public. Women come to learn weaving as a pastime, and the museum displays a collection of more than 500 pieces of beautiful Iban woven textiles, costumes and accessories. Some weaving looms, tools, and raw material are also on display as well. The Marguerite Hotel is in the heart of Kuching, and it faces the Sarawak River, and it has all the modern accommodations. The show at the Sarawak Cultural Village is informative and colorful, and it's where you see dances from most of the ethnics in Sarawak. People come to Sarawak for its natural beauty, its natural parks, the orangutans, and the Iban village. It's a cultural experience. With the height of 1,453 feet, one of the world's tallest twin towers arise above the skyline of Kuala Lumpur. They are called the Petronas Towers, and inevitably they have become the symbol of the astonishing growth that has taken place in Malaysia over the last 2 decades. Visitors can tour the Sky Bridge for a view of the city and then travel to the top for the most spectacular view of the towers and the city. I'm standing here with amazement of this beautiful wonder of the world. It's an architectural dream. The city is alive with many parks for families. The Royal Chulam Hotel is very special. Not only its architecture, but its graceful staff and accommodations are top-notch. When you're exhausted from sightseeing and shopping, this is a perfect place to rest your head. There's an outdoor pool to relax your heels. This is the Royal Selangor Pewter Factory, and it's just outside of Kuala Lumpur. The Royal Selangor Pewter Factory and Museum is worth a visit. I learned that Kuala Lumpur was once a town for mining tin, and today it's a thriving metropolis. Making these beautiful items is very crafty, and you have to do it with precision. The Pewter Museum has some of the finest precious pieces on display. Some are priceless.
I'm Man Quyên. You are now at the Royal Selangor Visitor Center in Kuala Lumpur.
This is a small museum that we have here. I want to tell you a story about this pot. This pot is very special. It is more than 100 years old, and I want to tell you how it came back to us. During the war, long before all of you were both of you were born, the bombs were falling on a town nearby, and people running into the railway go down to look for rice and sugar. So this man called Aham, he went in, he saw the bags of rice and sugar, and then he saw this old pot on the floor. The station master had been using it for his tea. In a hurry, bombs falling, he was running away, and he didn't bother to stop and pick up the pot. So one villager came in, his name was Aham. He saw this pot on the floor. He bent down to pick up this pot. Just as he bent down, a bomb fell, and the shrapnel whisked past his head. So we like to think this was a lucky pot. It saved his life. When he recovered from his shock, Aham picked up the pot, and he liked it so much. He forgot all about his starving wife and family. He did not take any rice or sugar. He took this old pot home. For the next 30 years, every time he had visitors, Aham would pour tea from this pot, and he would tell them his story, how this was his lucky pot, how it saved his life, how it taken it home. One day my husband visited Aham, and as usual, Aham was pouring tea and telling his story. That's how we know the story. When he finished, my husband told Aham, my wife works in a pewter factory. And Aham said, please take this pot back, ask your husband to ask your wife to clean it up for me. My husband brought this pot back. In the factory, I've got people worked there for a long, long time. See the stamp here with 4 Chinese words on it? This stamp was my grandfather's stamp. So the staff said, hey, that pot was made by your grandfather. So we sent my husband back to the man and said, please, please, please sell us the pot. Aham scolded my husband. He said, you must be crazy. This is my lucky pot, it saved my life. How can I sell it to you? But after a long time, he knew he was getting old, and this would be a good home for the pot to come back to. That's why the pot is here. Every day, hundreds of people pass by, they see this pot. To make this pot, last time there were no molds, no machines, so everything had to be done by hand. My grandfather would cut 12 oval pieces, use a wooden hammer, bang, 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 to get 12 perfect curves. Then he had to match them 12 times and solder, join 12 times. See these 2 dots here, small dots here, exactly on the old one. They are to support the handles. So when you've got hot tea, the handles don't get hot. This teapot is very good. It keeps the tea hot for a long time. Even after 1 hour, 1.5 hours while you talk with your friends, the tea remains hot. Put tea leaves inside, fill it up with boiling water, and let the water come out through the holes to the sides. Wait just a few seconds, and then you continue pouring till it's 3/4 full. This book is on the history of the company and the country. That's my grandfather. He came here in 1885 when he was a young boy. He was an apprentice pewter smith. And he heard there was tin here, so he came. He came from China, Shantou. This was my grandfather, my father, my uncles. Actually, he had 4 sons. I think the younger one was not born yet. This is a shop house I grew up in. It's called a shop house because people lived upstairs and downstairs was a factory.
The Art Deco tea set is very decorative and unusual. I'm helping out in the pewter factory, and I'm learning my craft at the School of Hard Knocks. The Selangor Pewter Factory also has a boutique where you can drop your last dime on any of the beautiful crafted items.